Hello guys, welcome back to Wheezy Palace Models as we're now known. And in episode 16, which is the one we are currently on, I'll go through the continuation of the hillside build and what I've been doing with that, and just a little look into other modelling projects that are on the go. So without further ado, let's have a look. So I think I left you in the last episode with this hillside that I'd actually managed to ballast the tracks up until the point which I did leave until just recently. And while the hillside was still fresh, I managed to put some rocks and added a little bit of my technique with some tissue paper and PVA glue. Stuck a little bit of colour on there just to see where I actually gone with the paper and the rocks, and decided then I was going to put this bridge in. It was easier to make this with it in situ, so we fixed the hillside down with a little bit of double-sided tape just to keep it in place, and then I made some parapets from scrap wood and some plastruct and some plasticard to make the actual bed of the bridge, and then added some walls, which again was plastruct and some brick relief plasticard. Painted up the parapets with a few different tones, earth tones and stone sandy colour basically, with a little bit of a black wash just to blend everything in. We then added the plaster cloth to this would be the back side of the hill. With you, I needed to do this with it off. It was so much easier to work with the hillside as a mobile unit. While it was off, I thought, well, you just about do the front as well. So with these rocks and things, I could then really pick out the detail of these rocks and go in between with my bits of plaster cloth and some bits of sculptor mould, which is the next job. So luckily we had some fantastic weather, and I was made easier by popping outside and doing it outside. And the usual sculptor mould thing, you mix a bit of water with it and put it on with your fingers because it's a lot easier. Put it in situ, wait 10-15 minutes for it to start going off, and then with a wet finger you just go back on and smooth it off. Sculptor mould, fantastic modelling medium, and I must admit I really do enjoy using it. So yeah, everything was sculptor mould, and then we took it back indoors and the bridge was put into situ. We added a little bit of colour just to see what it was going to finally end up like with the earth tones and a few greens and things on it. So yeah, that was the hillside starting to take shape. There's always going to be a building in the middle, not sure what's going on there, but more of that to come. Blended in the parapets for the bridge, and then just basically little bits of filler and stuff just to fill in any holes that were left with the sculptor mould. And yeah, it was onwards and upwards with this hillside. But again, before I could fix it, I needed to get the details sorted out of where it was going to come with the bridge, and just basically where everything was going to fit in, and whether it was actually going to fit together. So yeah, I think it all turned out quite well in the end. So as you look down there, it sticks out a little bit, but we hide that with some bushes. You can always get away with a few bushes. And then it was a coat of paint while it was still mobile as a unit, and then with the paint added, these were just household acrylics, it was onwards and upwards. Okay, now to a job I've been putting on for absolutely ages, painting N-scale figures. I watched Stephen do it from Elvenhome, and it gave me a little bit of inspiration to have a go myself. I've had these models from Smart Models. I've had the figures for absolutely ages, but to get round to actually do anything with them, it was like, one of those, it's so tiny. I am so glad I got that magnifying glass, I can tell you. They actually turned out quite well. I thought they were quite good, to be fair. While in my painting, guys, I had a go at my soldier, which I'd started when my boy was about 12. He's now 22, so a little while back. And I had a go at putting all that together and made him up. So more of him to come. Some scrap heaps were made for Stephen at Elvenholme. I'm sure you've heard about that in his videos. The garage was just a coat of washes on it to start with, but I then decided it looked a bit naff, so it had to have some brown wood wash. So while we're on the subject of modelling other bits and pieces, this is in 00 scale. It's a wheels kit, which will come in very handy for another project. So going forward with the Wheezy Palace sign from Scale Model Sceneries, I managed to get the colours painted in a brass, Vallejo brass colour paint. We made a frame for it. We undercoated the frame with a red oxide paint, and then painted it again in the brass, Vallejo brass colour. Then painted it with a matte, Halford matte black, and then mounted the painted, completed Wheezy Palace letters onto the plaque, and hey presto, there you have Wheezy Palace sign. So there you go, guys, just a quick update from me this month, as I've been busy doing lots and lots of different bits and pieces. I've been using some walling techniques, various paint techniques for walls. I've got into some foam board, some XPS foam boarding, cutting your own brick shapes, etc., into the walls, into my diorama hat. I'm trying to basically make some diorama scenes. I bought a few kits, and obviously I'm mounting up lots and lots and lots of different jobs here. There's not enough time in the day to do half of it, and to be honest, I'm getting a little bit snowed in with whether I'm pressurizing myself into just to get content to show you guys. So it's one of those. I do something every day. There is something to show. I do forget to film quite a lot of it, I must admit, as senior moments and whatever, but it's a lot easier for me just to get on with it and then film it afterwards. And talk over my progress as I've been doing with you guys in the past. So hopefully you've enjoyed the progress so far. I have got another video coming very, very shortly after this, as I've got an accumulation of stuff which is going to be too long just for this video, but I can make 2 videos out of it. So with the progress that I've since made to the hillside, some of you may have seen it on the Scale Model Scenery club site, but I've been putting a few pictures up and stuff on there, and I don't think I've done any Facebook just recently, but definitely on the Scale Model Scenery site I've managed to get a little bit of storage within the hillside, and I've more or less completed the hillside to the point of the scenics and stuff. So more of that is going to be coming up in the next episode, but for now, guys, I'm going to leave you with the thought that it's coming up to that time of year where you have to just look out for a few loved ones, maybe the elderly or the less able people around you. I know with everything that's been going on in the world, it really is getting to that time of year where it's getting colder, it's getting damper. In my particular situation, I've got a job to get out of most of the time. But there are people a lot worse off than me, so I'm not pleading anything. I'm just pointing out that I know there are people coming up that are going to be struggling with lots of things in life, mental issues, etc., etc. But I don't want to be blowing the trumpet for that or for anything else. But just a little heads up. Let's all stick together and we can look out for each other. We can look out for friends, family, loved ones. And yeah, just help each other out. So that's it from me. You will have another episode coming up pretty shortly after this, within maybe a couple of weeks. And I've got something for Paul at Wickford. Paul, to keep asking me about old Tom. He is still about. He's still on furlough at the moment because Tepper is not actually built. It's in pieces, but it's coming. It's coming very soon. So a little something for Paul coming up in the next episode. Thanks to everybody that subscribed to me and watches. I've got quite a few new subscribers now as well, so thank you very much for that. Hopefully the content is of interest to you. If there are things that you'd like me to maybe explain a bit more, or to try and film as I'm doing it, just drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear, your feedback, and whether what I'm doing is acceptable to you guys, or whether you want me to do a bit more. It is a bit of a struggle at times, but as I say, I do something every day, and I am getting there. So yeah, lots and lots of things to come, lots of things to do, loads of kits to build. Not always railway related, as I've said before, but nonetheless it's modelling, and it's all skills that we use on the railways or in dioramas or wherever we use them. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. You take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay well, and I'm looking forward to all this Tings footage and Gets the Great Electric Train Show footage. So I'm probably going to be spending the weekend watching a lot of you posting that. So thanks for that. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.